So with this site, spaleon.com, it's really helpful for practicing conjugation, sort of like flashcards of old that are already created for you. Notice that there's present tense for those of you in Spanish 2 and Spanish 3. We have preterite in imperfect. Spanish 3, we're going to be looking at the future tense in the future, as well as Spanish 3. Here's the present subjunctive, which we've used here. We're also going to be looking at the conditional along with the future tense. So here's a lot of different options. When you click on one of these, you want to make sure that you are in, I believe it's the conjugator. Is that the one I clicked on, or was it? Nope, the trainer. But there it does have some too. You're going to select which conjugation form you'd like to practice with. Notice it's here on the left as well as down the front, the middle. It gives you examples just in case you're not sure what they're called so that you can see those. But when you go in, I'm just going to go in the present tense because that's everybody. You can come up here and decide, okay, I want the basic verbs, and these are the most commonly used verbs in Spanish, or regular verbs. That mean, and so the basic verbs are going to have some irregulars in it. In fact, almost all of them have something irregular with them. The regular verbs will not have anything changing in the stems. The only thing you'll need to worry about are the endings. Then we have some common irregular verbs, or you can go by topics around learning or around traveling. Those are the only two options though. Of course, then it also lists all of the verbs that they have that could be included in those already pre-grouped by category for you. And you can either select random select, and it'll just choose from this randomly, 10 of them, or you can choose 10 verbs that you want to work with. And so that way you can intermix. So if you don't really like one complete setting, it's above. And this is true for all of the options, all of the conjugation options. And then you would, but if you're creating your own list, you would then select the personal selection. So for example, oops, I didn't select anything, did I? That doesn't work at all. So let's go back to that. And I'm going to have it do random selection for me. And that means it's going to pick any of these 50 verbs. Notice here then it tells me which verbs that are going to show up for me right now. I can change it if there's a couple in here that I just don't want to deal with at this time. Also here, select the pronouns, all but vosotros. That's how I would prefer you do it. You can also focus on a particular ending, or you can do all, which would also include vosotros. I'm just going to stick with the default. So here you'll notice it says over here, nosotros. If decir, you're like, oh, I don't remember how to conjugate decir, I can click on complete conjugation and it pops up at the top in a pop-up window. And so I can see them all and say, oh, here it is, decimos. Then I have to get rid of that and I could type that in. Whoops. And then I can either select enter on my keyboard, or I can select this, correct? That's right. Yay me. Now, if, however, it's wrong, so explico, I'm going to say, and I can say, is that correct? And say, whoops, that's wrong, which then means it keeps that there so that I can try again. If you really don't know and you've gone through the complete conjugation and you're like, oh, I can't find it up here, I'm kind of confused, you can get solution. So then you learn it and then repeat after it. Él explica. Él explica. Notice we also find the English translation over here. It will also show your results. How did I do with these 10 verbs? Well, I only did 50%, which means I should probably practice some more. Okay, so those are all options there. You can get back to the previous screen, change verb selection. Like I said here, randomize again. And notice now I have a different grouping of verbs. So I hope that this is just one more tool that you find helpful. Let me know what you think, and or if you have any questions about it, okay? Hasta luego.